We're live, brother.
All righty. How y'all doing today? We wanted to come to you guys today and bring y'all the latest news that we
We can't see
found
your
out about
face. Pull your camera down just a little bit, brother. There you
about
go.
the XRP ledger. So today we will be speaking about a few of the latest things that we found. Actually, my brother called me a little earlier, like, man, I got something that you need to see. I was like, well, we can save it for the show. So we got something special for y'all tonight. Um, of course, you know I am your crypto general. You know what I mean?
And I'm
And
your brother, Crypto Kurt, over here.
ready. So tonight we're gonna be speaking about Franklin Templeton, DBS, and the Ripple connection. Um, I think this is a really, really big deal. You guys should really tune in, listen up to what's going on. Um, this is going to bring massive amounts of liquidity into the market.
Well, let's
It's
let's give them a few minutes to get on, and we'll get some likes on the video and everything like that before we start deep diving into all of this juicy information that we got tonight, because we got some stuff for them tonight. A lot of information. So if you're tuning in from wherever you're tuning in from around the world tonight, just know that you're going to want to watch this one to the end, because the information here could make you a lot of money. At Set for Life Crypto, we're here to give you the information, the tools necessary for you and your family to be set for life.
um, I think, bro. I don't think you gotta wait since you gotta. We gonna pre-record it. It's gonna be recorded so they can go back and watch it.
That's fine.
No sense. No sense of waiting. Um,
Why don't we go into some charts first, real quick? Let's break down some charts real quick. That'll give people time to, you know.
brother, I can't pull my chart up right now. You want to pull yours up?
Yeah, yeah. So I got the XRP chart pulled up right here. This is a daily chart for XRP. We're kind of just really chopping sideways, mainly. Let's see.
Sorry, y'all. Let me see what's.
We're just in this wedge and this.
Brother, I cannot see your screen.
You won't be able to see my screen unless you're watching it
On the channel.
on the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay, so like I was speaking of today, we're gonna unpack the latest power play by the Ripple team. My brother over there showing y'all, I guess, a wedge. That was the latest thing that we had seen on the camera. We just waiting for a breakout. Like you say, right now we chopping and we looking to come down and touch that 200, I believe. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to play the bounce off of the 200. So um, on the 15-minute chart, I'm gonna be specific with y'all. I don't think we're gonna break down no lower than that. But like I was speaking of, this power play that Ripple has going. It's their latest deal, the hottest thing on the block, and it's some really, really exciting news. Like um, when my brother was calling me earlier and reading the article to me, it was very fascinating, to say the least. So I want to go ahead and turn it over to him for a moment and let him break down to you guys um, what the importance of the deal that they just made. And it's their latest partnership with DBS and Franklin Templeton. So if you would, brother, go ahead and give us the latest
Yeah,
input on what's going on.
I'm gonna go ahead and deep dive into this one for you. Um,
Yes, sir.
so DBS, who that is that's Singapore's largest bank, Franklin Templeton. They're a global asset manager. Them and Ripple announced a collaboration to list and trade tokenized money market fund on the DBS digital exchange, and they'll be using Ripple's USD stablecoin, the RLUSD token, and issuing Franklin Templeton's token, the SG Benji token, on the XRP ledger. The setup's going to let accredited institutional clients swap between RLUSD and the SG Benji token. They're going to be able to earn a yield on that, and potentially they can pledge that SG Benji token as collateral for loans and repo transactions. Um, Kind of break down how the system is intended to work. So basically, Franklin Templeton is going to tokenize units of short term USD money market funds into the SG Benji token. And they're going to issue those tokens on the XRP ledger.
Okay.
DBS is going to list those SG Benji tokens on the digital exchange with RLUSD alongside of it. That's going to enable swaps and trading between the two 24/7 on those rails.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. What the audience probably would be saying. Um, does this utilize XRP?
It is. I'll get into that here in a little bit, like how it's going to utilize XRP.
Okay.
I'm gonna finish breaking down how the mechanics are intended to work, and then
Okay.
you'll kind of start. It'll all the pieces to the puzzle will kind of come together, right?
Right on.
Um, so the rails, right, that's going to allow the swapping and trading 24/7 between the two. It's gonna the RLUSD is gonna act as an on ledger United States dollar liquidity rail to facilitate instant settlement and to reduce the friction when moving into or out of the SG Benji token. So
So
the RLUSD is going to be the liquidity rail, right? For
so
settlement.
you said this is going to trade 24/7.
Yes, yes, 24/7.
You got you guys catch that. That's 24/7. You'll be able to trade this. You know what I mean? Instant liquidity, access, and so on and so forth.
So
I'm sorry, brother. I just wanted
I mean, what this
to
is
point that
for,
out.
banks close, right?
Right.
So
Right.
um, they don't exchange money when they're closed,
Absolutely.
right? Um, this will allow them to exchange money 24/7, even when they're closed. Okay.
Absolutely. That
Um,
is a big deal, you guys, to be able to go in and out of the market. I mean, and access that liquidity.
It's for loans. This is for like loans. So I'll go into it basically.
Yeah, yeah, just to be able to access that liquidity period.
Right. So it's
You
for
know what I mean?
lending
Like,
and collateralization. So DBS is planning to explore allowing the SG Benji tokens to be used as collateral for credit.
right.
Right. It's going to be
So
used for credit.
this is you guys being able to get loans 24/7 at any point in time. You can access that liquidity.
And then this is going to enable investors to get leverage or liquidity while retaining their exposure to the yield fund. So they're going to be able to get
Absolutely.
yields off of their tokens and be able to access and leverage that liquidity at the same time,
That is big.
which is
I don't
huge.
know if you guys understand how big that is, but all of us want to be able to make money with our money. So this is a very big thing, brother.
I'm going to break down why this is important, right? So the practical impacts of the matter. Um, the institutional on-chain utility is basically tokenized MMFs, which are money market funds, right? Bring a familiar TradeFi product onto a public ledger, enabling 24/7 settlement, atomic swaps between yield and stable rails, and faster rebalancing. That's a major step beyond retail-focused crypto products. Um, this isn't a retail crypto product. XRP is an institutional product. Liquidity and composability. The SG Benji and RLUSD on the XRPL mean that wallets and money market desks can move liquidity with minimal friction. This reduces cash drag and opens composable workflows where they can instant swap, lend, and collateralize like in matter of seconds. On ramp for institutional flows. It allows institutional clients who trust DBS and Franklin Templeton. They can now interact with XRPL assets, and they can anchor those matters for adoption, for more adoption. Um, and I'm gonna kind of go into how this is gonna affect XRP's price, because that's what everyone wants to know. What's it gonna do for XRP? How's it gonna affect XRP's price? Um, the more institutional flows and the on ledger stablecoin money fund activity increases, the transaction volume, it's going to increase the transaction volume on the XRP ledger. Higher utility can raise demand for the XRP services, the XRP ledger services, and ancillary assets. It's not a direct buy of XRP, but positive network effect. RLUSD adoption. If RLUSD becomes a primary settlement rail on the XRP ledger, the demand for the on ledger liquidity tools rises, again, boosting the XRP ledger ecosystem value. The more that's done on the XRP ledger, the more XRP token is going to be worth. Um,
Absolutely.
and
And
high
so I guess this brings the all of the mechanics of how the XRP ledger work together. Is that pretty much something that is pretty much doing?
So when high profile banks, like when the big banks, right, CBDCs and the big banks, an asset manager, these huge asset managers, like these corporations like BlackRock and um, Charles Schwab and Fidelity and all these big institutions and stuff like that. Whenever you start to see all these partnerships with these big institutions and these large banks, it's basically going to increase and help improve the market sentiment. All right. So it's going to help the market be like, oh, well, there's more adoption, there's more institution, there's more utility, there's more.
So more companies and institutions will feel more comfortable
Right.
with investing.
Right. And
Okay.
with crypto, this is the first chance that retail has had a chance to actually front run the institutions. So
Absolutely.
retail was here first, and then now the institutions are catching up to the technology and coming on board. So this was actually the first opportunity that people like you and myself and the small retail investors have actually had a chance to front run institutions on anything.
And
Usually
you guys
the
don't
big
don't
institutions are
don't
the
get
first.
discouraged by that because we are still very early. So
Still early, very,
um
very early.
yeah,
The
the full
institutions don't
adoption hasn't
care.
taken
I mean,
place.
these institutions don't care if XRP is $100, right? They have the money. They'll buy it up at $100. They'll buy it up at $1,000 with billions of dollars at a time. It doesn't matter. They don't care that retail is here first, right?
Absolutely.
All they care about is how can they make it work for them and how can they make money off of it,
Is it beneficial?
right?
And
It's
each and every one of us know how banks and institutions all work. So this is our chance to actually become a part of something. Maybe your mom and dad missed the last opportunity of a lifetime. You know what I mean? Maybe your grandfathers had a chance or so on and so forth, and they didn't have this information and knowledge. This is a big thing. This is why my brother is trying to present so much information because this was his idea. He just like, we know too much about the subject to not be trying to help people. So you guys should really take heed to what's going on and what's being said because it is very important when you are investing in something. This type of information will give you not only the knowledge, but it'll give you the conviction to hold, to know what you hold. So just remember that you got to know what you hold.
So, um, I have pulled up on the screen, which has been sitting on the screen for a minute now. Um, I kind of want to. I pulled this up earlier, so this was filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission, and it was actually filed on March 11th. Right, so this partnership, this deal has been going on since March, but we're just now finding out about it in September. So, that's what happens when you have NDAs and backdoor talks and stuff like that. So, a lot of times we don't really even know all the new things that's going on with these partnerships and these companies because they can't talk about it, they don't talk about it, they won't talk about it, things like that. So, but I pulled this
Absolutely.
up. This was the actual filing from Franklin Templeton to the SEC for the partnership and what it's actually going to do. Um, so basically, um, the Franklin XRP Trust is what this is called, right? So the Franklin XRP Trust is organized as a Delaware statutory trust. The Franklin XRP ETF series of the trust, the fund, issues shares representing fractional undivided beneficial interests in its net assets. The assets of the fund consist primarily of XRP, held by a custodian on behalf of the fund. I'm going to read that again. The assets of the fund consist primarily of XRP held by a custodian on behalf of the fund. The fund seeks to reflect generally the performance of the price of XRP. The fund seeks to reflect such performance before payment of the fund's expenses. Franklin Holdings LLC is the sponsor of the trust and fund. CSC Delaware Trust Company, a subsidiary of Corporation Service Company, the trustee, is the sole trustee of the trust. Coinbase Custody Trust Company, LLC, the XRP custodian, is the custodian for the fund's XRP holdings. So who's going to hold these XRP tokens? Coinbase. Right?
All right.
So, um, it's basically just letting you know that this is all registered and everything. And it even goes on down here, and then this will be a good time for us to let you know that anything you hear on this channel from myself and my brother Broderick, Crypto General, is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're not here to tell you what to buy, when to sell, what to sell. We're just simply here to bring you information, education, the knowledge. We will tell y'all what we invest in, what moves that we are making in the market. But again, what we do is what we do. Don't follow our plays. Crypto is a highly volatile market. It's very risky, and you could lose all of your money. Just want to put
Absolutely.
that out there. And it even
Yes, you.
says right here on this, investing in the shares involves significant risk. See risk factors, right? Neither the SEC nor any state securities commission has approved or disapproved the securities offered in this prospectus or determined if this prospectus is truthful or complete. All right, so
So,
just kind of keep
so
that
you
in.
you guys keep in mind that you invest at your own risk. We just bring you the information and try to keep you guys informed so you guys can make informed decisions on the investments that you do make. And like my brother was mentioning, we are also new to this as well. You know what I mean? So we are getting to know you guys while you guys get to know us. So just keep that in mind. We do have a Discord, and we will be posting our plays and what we do inside the Discord, and all of that is linked down below. So moving forward, okay, brother. Um, we got Franklin Templeton, and there's big chatter that BlackRock is interested in the XRP ledger. So um, we know that XRP is good for cross-border payments, but I've been reading a lot about tokenization. Um, could you go in just a little bit about things being tokenized on the XRPL and what is tokenizing? What is tokenization?
Share your screen. Let them know. Pull up some info for them. I'll pull up what I
Mm,
can pull up from over here.
hold on, my screen. Hold on, I'll share this. Get on here. This. Okay, you guys. So I'm gonna tell you guys what tokenizing is. Tokenizing is basically moving all forms of value on chain. On chain denotes that we're talking about the blockchain technology. We're talking about blockchain technology, specifically distributed ledger technology. So um, everything is being tokenized so it can be placed on a blockchain, and that value can be fractionalized and um, broke down into fractions and shared that way. You understand?
So I can
So
buy a fraction of a piece of real estate.
yes, sir. You can buy, you don't have to buy the whole apartment complex. You no longer have to buy, the whole house. You can now buy a piece of that real estate. There can be multiple owners that owns one piece of real estate, and you guys all share the residuals from it. So, yeah, you can actually buy pieces of real estate now. You can actually buy pieces of everything once things get on chain. You know what I mean?
So like
So
gold, silver, oil,
every
commodities, right? I can buy
every
pieces.
commodity, I think they even putting not only real estate, the derivatives markets on chain. I believe they're trying to put the forex market on chain. So it's gonna get very crazy.
Let
It's
me see.
like that's why you hear all of the XRP heads saying that strap in and we going to the moon, and if we get full adoption, there is no way that XRP could be a small number. It's gonna have to work at a bigger number to actually work in a meaningful way. You know what I mean? So um, tokenization is the new big thing. So XRP is actually moving up. This is what we mentioned yesterday's video. You guys can go check that out about XRP getting 22% growth month to month on the XRPL with tokenization.
All right, so
So,
I
uh,
brought some stuff up. I just kind of asked ChatGPT, what's up, what all's being brought onto the blockchain right now. So real estate on blockchain, we got tokenized real estate. Again, fractional
mm,
ownership. Properties are split into digital tokens that represent shares of ownership. Examples: Realty is on Ethereum, and Lofty is on the Algorand blockchains, and Ripple-backed
absolutely.
projects in tokenized assets. There's also one that's on the XRP ledger, that's on the XRPL, that's called the Real token, which is a real estate token. They already have. houses. Most of the listings that I saw on the website were in New York based, but they do have some listings up already of real estate properties that you can fractionalize purchase. Um, Real estate trusts, investment trusts. So blockchain versions of the REITs allow global investors to access real estate funds with lower fees and instant transfers. You have to remember, like, closing deals on real estate and like doing real estate deals and stuff like that usually takes time to make that happen. It's not instant. Now you're gonna have instant transfers. The smart contracts are all gonna be done on blockchain. Everything's gonna move instant. Title and
That's
land
cool.
registry systems. So governments and private companies are experimenting with putting property titles and deeds on the blockchain to reduce fraud and make transfers easier. Example of that is Proppy. They have title deeds on blockchain. The derivatives on the blockchain. So on-chain derivatives, futures, options, swaps, smart contracts replace brokers, exchanges, and clearinghouses. And this is already being used. Examples are the DYDX, Synthetics, and GMX are all decentralized perpetual futures. You have real world assets backed derivatives. So using things like commodities, carbon credits, real estate, or treasuries as collateral for blockchain derivatives. Big firms are experimenting with this at the moment, like BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, etc. Um, Interest rate swaps and credit derivatives. Protocols are working on tokenized versions of swaps and structured products that banks normally control. Example is Centrifuge and Maple Finance. Credit markets via tokenized loans. Other assets that are being brought on chain is treasury bills and bonds. They're already tokenized on Ethereum, Stellar, and Polygon by Franklin Templeton, Wisdom Tree, and others. Commodities, gold, silver, and oil tokens. You have Pax Gold and Tether Gold. Private equity and funds, tokenized LP shares of hedge funds and futures and venture funds. Carbon credits and energy markets. They're used for sustainability tracking and trading. And the big picture, what's happening is the tokenization of real world assets. Blockchains are being used to turn illiquid assets, real estate, derivatives, bonds, into programmable, tradable tokens that can settle instantly and trade globally 24/7.
Hey,
That's crazy.
that's crazy. So, while we're speaking on tokenization, um, I pulled up a little something as well, and I wanted to read it to you guys. So, what's going on now? Ripple is pushing XRPL heavily toward institutional DeFi, stablecoins, and compliance tools, front and center. The key current updates. XRPL recently broke 1 billion plus monthly stablecoin volume. Okay. They just hit a billion in stablecoin volumes. There are also real world assets are gaining traction on the XRPL. It is in the top 10 chains for real world asset activity. So that's kind of big. It's them climbed to the top 10 already. Um, Already live or rolling out credentials via DIDs. So issuers can attest to KYC, accreditation, regulatory attributes. Deep freeze. Issuers can freeze transfers from fogged addresses until trust lines are cleared. Useful for sanctions, compliance, and risk management. Stimulate. Testing transactions before finalization on chain to reduce risk of mistakes or exploits. So here's what's coming. I'm sorry, you guys. Here's what's coming. Ripple isn't just adding superficial stuff. They're laying protocol, level foundations, things that are approved, pending, voting, or being developed. So basically, excuse me, I'm sorry. So basically, with all of this going on the XRPL, and us actually waiting for the approval of um, all of our ETFs, and we'll get in that to that at a later date. Our ETFs coming up. We got regulatory clarity coming up, and we got a host of other things coming up. So the roadmap for Ripple is looking very, very sexy right now, and you guys should take a look at it. Um, do as much research as you can possibly do on it. Um, and
And some advice is don't y'all don't get hyped up into the FOMO, right? Into the fear of missing out, right?
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
you're not missing out. Don't feel like you have the fear of missing out and start FOMOing in and buying at tops and things like that. Just do your research, um, dig up some information. You know, you might not want to take our words for it. You know, go and look it up for yourself. Go pull up some information, dig in, do some of your own research. I mean, if it's your money that you're going to be investing, you want to know what you're investing your money in, right?
Absolutely.
So I would definitely suggest that you do your own research, dig up some information, see if it's something that you even like. You might not even like what it's about. You might be like, I don't want to invest in that because I don't even like what it's doing. So I mean, do your own research. Again, don't FOMO in, following all the hype and everything like that. There is a lot of hype, but it's not like it's going to happen overnight. You still got a little bit
Absolutely.
of time. Um, Also, don't fall into the fear, uncertainty, and doubt either. Right, the FUD that's being thrown around. I mean, you got Bitcoin maxis that like to talk down on XRP. You got all these other people. Oh, XRP is just a banker's coin. It's going to go to zero. It doesn't do anything. This and that. But whenever you really dig into the partnerships and the things that Ripple's doing and the people that they're working with and all of the great utilities and all of the things that everything's coming together. All the
And
pieces of the puzzle.
that's all a part of what he's telling you too. So if you just go do some of the research and see some of the things, and the writing is pretty much on the wall. So go do the research yourself and get that conviction. That way, even when you see a dip or a retracement, you don't lose faith. You know what you hold, and you're able to hold it. When you see a big enough dip, we see opportunity. So be prepared for whatever the market is doing. Um, Nobody actually knows what the market is going to do. So we can just do our best to give good guesstimates of what's going on. And we just use our technicals to kind of guide us the way the market is kind of flowing. So if you guys just take the time to do the research, you guys will be okay. Don't fall into the FUD. Do not FOMO in. Um, when we first came into the market, we knew nothing about buying tops or bottoms, so we just came in buying, and it was plenty of times we bought the top and sold because we didn't know what was really going on. So if we could help anybody from making those type of mistakes and actually help you take your money to a little bit further, you know what I mean? You have to be patient with the market. You cannot rush and just go with the flow. Never stand in front of a moving train. Never try to catch a falling knife. Just some of the things that we learned when we first got into the market.
And we're
So,
not the Lamborghini overnight guys. We're
all
not here
right,
to tell you invest in this and you're gonna make enough money to buy you a Lamborghini tomorrow. It's
right.
not gonna happen.
Like we
Not
didn't
we're
lost we lost a lot of money when we first got in, him and I, but we just didn't give up. We were dedicated to wanting to learn what went wrong, how we lost the money, and things of that nature. So if we can help you guys by listening to our channel and you guys tuning in, don't forget to like. We new to this, and we're trying to build relationships and friendships, and we would love for you guys to all stay tuned in and locked in with us, man. So
Join us
we
on
can
this
enjoy
journey. We
this
can have a
journey
journey
together.
together. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
we're
we
gonna
can
do a
enjoy
little
this.
challenge with our audience for those of the for those that want to follow our little challenge, and we're just we're gonna take $100. So
Right.
get yourself $100 saved up or whatever. For some of you that might take a week or two or whatever. For some of you, you might have that today, and you might be like, I want to put in more than $100. If I mean, if you do, that's cool. I would say just kind of keep that extra money to the side though. I wouldn't go all in, more than $100 at first. Just kind of follow our lead, right? So we're gonna take $100 and we're gonna try to turn that $100 into $10,000 over the next 12 months. Okay, so that's $100 to $10,000 in the next 12 months, right? So if you wanna try along with us and see how it goes, you're more than welcome. So that's gonna be our little challenge that we're doing is, we're gonna start a whole new little wallet thing with $100, and we're gonna take that $100 and
Absolutely.
try to
And
make it.
don't forget, this is all new beginnings, new territory for a lot of us. And we just want to be on this journey with you. You know what I mean? It's a great opportunity.
See if
Me
we
and
can
my
help some
brother
people
wish,
along the way. I mean,
yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. It's nothing like seeing other people grow with you. Um, as you can tell, me and my brother are two very different, but so much alike. So it's crazy. If you just kind of find some people that you can identify with and that y'all can grow together, it'll be okay. Um, we love
we
that you
break
guys
all
on
the
this journey.
barriers. We break all
Yeah,
the barriers.
we love the fact that you guys are on this journey with us, and this is a new beginning for us. So y'all do not forget to like, share, and
Subscribe to the
subscribe to
channel,
the channel,
please.
man.
We love you
Drop us
guys.
a couple comments. Tell us what we can do better, what we can work on. You know, kind of help us out, give us y'all input. We would love that. And for me, I mean, I got some more things I would like to say, but I really want to save it for tomorrow because it would kind of take me too long to break down everything I want to say. So that's pretty much all I got for y'all today, brother. Is there anything else you need to say?
As long as we hold this support right here and we don't break below this wedge, I think we'll be all right on XRP right now. I'll bring you the good, the bad, and the ugly from what I'm looking at on the charts right now. If we don't hold above this 282 here, then we're probably going to come down to around the 270, the 260, 270 range. And it might just be like a wick down like this one was. If you know how to set limit orders, you can set your limit order right in there on 269, 270. Because if we do break this triangle, we will go down and touch those areas. We could go all the way down and touch this EMA down here at the 259, 260. I don't think we're going to go that low. We're probably going to stay within this wedge like I'm drawing out right here. We'll probably stay within this. We'll bounce up and down in here. And then before we break out to the upside or break out to the downside, but more than likely we'll break out to the upside. October is going to be a huge month. We got a bunch of October updates that we've been digging in, doing some research on stuff that most people aren't talking about, most people don't know about. We're digging deep to get that information to bring it out to you guys. So
One
we'll
more thing, brother, before we go. Um, my sister asked me a question, and I just thought it'd be good for me to have you just give a little expound on it a little bit. If I'm new into the crypto market and I keep hearing diversify my portfolio, and I really don't know too much about the crypto market or how to look at the white papers. I don't really know too much
so
about how to identify which tokens are good versus not good.
When you're
What would
talking
you
about
suggest?
diversifying your portfolio, I would
But
say,
hold on, give me five tokens that you would suggest I have in my portfolio as a beginner.
mm, okay, um, that's a good one. Five tokens. Well, I definitely would have my XRP tokens in there.
Okay, that's one. We got
Um,
XRP for number one.
yeah.
Let's go number two.
I really like the money tokens, right? So tokens that are going to be used for finance.
Okay.
They have utility, so they're going to actually be used to move money, to move to do things for banks and institutions.
Do
The
they call those tokens a certain something or something? How do I know which tokens are the ones used for money?
well, they're going to be utility tokens. Um,
Okay. So
so
do I just look up utility tokens?
No, I mean, again, you're gonna want to either be paying attention to stuff that we're talking about. I mean, I've put out some shorts on a few of these tokens, right? So there was
Hmm.
some shorts on the page that over H bar, right? So
Okay.
H bar would be one of them that I would have in that, token
Okay.
bag. 1 second, I need to plug this in before it dies.
Okay. So in the meantime, while he's plugging that in, we got XRP and we also have H bar. Me, I would go in and throw in another one for you guys. Um, I would also get me some XLM, some stellar lumens. That's also a token that's got some good potential in front of it.
But what I wouldn't suggest is, I mean, what I would suggest is if it depends on your budget, on what you're investing, right? If you're
Right.
investing $100, you don't want to diversify that into $20 here, $20 there, $20 there, $20.
Yeah, nah, bro, but we asked him specifically, like, for the question for that I gave you, like my sister saying, how, what coins
Right.
would
So
she,
what I would start with is I would say, these are my top three picks, right? So
right,
out of all the tokens, these are my top three. So I'm going to start off with
okay,
my number one token, and I'm going to develop me a what we call a bag, right? We're going to build up a little bag, fill it full of these tokens until we
a
got
spot
to
bag.
until we have a comfortable enough amount that's actually going to make a difference, right? Then you're
Mm-hmm.
going to want to move into your next token, into your number two token. And you're going to want to accumulate that token until you have enough to where it's going to make a difference. And then you're going to go into your third token, right? And you're going to start to accumulate that token. Again, it depends on your resources. Now, if you have $30,000 and you want to put 10,000 in your number one token and 10,000 in your number two and 10,000 in your number three and you're done for now, then that's cool. That's great. You can do that. But for the smaller people that are starting off, people like me, people like my brother here, your average person that's struggling right now, I'm not saying that we're struggling right now. I'm not really struggling that bad right now. But for the younger people and for the people out there that are struggling under inflation and under the amount of money you're getting paid and things like that and the rent and all this stuff that's going on in the world, and you're like, I'm having a hard time to pay my rent right now, let alone like dump $10,000 into a crypto coin or into the market, right? How could I even possibly begin to start, right? So start with $5, start with $10. It doesn't matter. Eat one less cheeseburger and put that money into something, right? You start off small and you just continue to build upon that. And as you do it week after week, month after month, you'll notice that your accumulation has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and your position hopefully has gotten less and less and less.
All right. So,
I don't know what just happened.
for me, I, me personally, what I'm invested in for people who may have, a little change that diversify because $1,000 is, you can diversify $1,000. You can do it 5 ways, 6 ways, 4 ways, just depending on your ability to keep up with everything. So start out small, like brother was saying, about 2 or 3 tokens until you feel comfortable and know what you're doing. But as far as the tokens that I would invest in or that I am investing in, I have XRP, I invest in HBAR, I invest in ADA, I invest in Ondo, and I'm now investing in Flare, the Flare network. So it's not a very big allocation or nothing, but like my brother say, you just take whatever little extra change that you may have that you might have was going to go out to eat or y'all was may going to the movies, maybe stay in this weekend, get you a little more crypto and just start to build out you a position that's good enough and build that spot bag up like brother was talking about. You want to get you a spot bag, and then once you do that and you feel comfortable and you've learned more of the TA and you know a little bit more about the macro economics and you can see how things moving a little bit, then you can start to build you a position that you can trade with and utilize that as income on a monthly basis or whatever you have it. So the main part would be, I think, for beginners to build you a spot bag, build you something that you know is um, good enough to a substantial amount that would actually do something and change something in your life. So, like I say, my brother hit it spot on, brother. You was good today. I appreciate you and the way you broke everything down for us today, brother.
Yep.
Um, we will be back with you guys tomorrow with another hot topic. We're going to do a lot of research tonight. And don't forget that we also have some clothing, bro. Would you talk a little bit about that before we get up out of here? Tell
Yep,
them how to get to.
I'll pull it up. So setforlifeclothing.com. And we have urban. It's a bold new age clothing brand that fuses streetwear fashion with the dynamic world of cryptocurrency.
Something you guys want. I mean, this is really exclusive. Y'all stay tuned in, tap in with us, and give us
Most
ideas.
of this all
You
is
know,
really high
and we
quality. We partnership with Under Armour, Adidas, Champion, jerseys, a few other. Most everything is all embroidered, nice, again, high quality stuff.
absolutely.
So definitely check that out. Get you some XRP Set for Life gear, or just some Set for Life gear. If you don't want to put XRP on your clothing,
Right
that's fine.
on. I
Um,
mean, we got mugs, we got a few different things. So
yeah.
you guys be sure and check all that out.
So check that
But
out.
we
I
would
gotta
like you
figure out
guys'
what's going on
input.
over here in my neighborhood though, because half the power just went out in my house. So I don't have any power right now. I'm kind of on backup power at
Okay.
the moment. So I'm gonna have to kind of get that figured out as to why the I have power in the back half of my house. I don't have power in the front half of my house. So um,
All right. Well, you guys, we gonna close it out and end it for the day. We appreciate you guys being with us, and we'll be back with you guys tomorrow with another live update. Y'all stay checking in, set for life, baby.
Set for life. Y'all have a good one.
Y'all have a good one.